Hello friends, welcome to Ishan's Heart Health. My name is Siddharth Upadhyay and I am a certified nutritionist focused on heart health and child nutrition. So in today's video, we're going to talk about 3 important blood tests. So you might have seen around you that there are many young people or old people seemingly very healthy. So those people are getting sudden cardiac arrest or sudden heart attacks and are just falling dead or getting very serious in terms of health. So what happens is that usually they are leading a very healthy lifestyle from the outside. If you look at it, they are eating right, you're thinking, they are doing their exercise and they are doing their normal blood tests which are coming okay. So what we have found is that many of the people having normal cholesterol, normal lipid profile are getting all these serious life-threatening diseases. There are 3 important blood tests which one should do either young or old. So even if you are in 20s, you should do this at least 6 months, every 6 months, even if you are young. If you are old, then definitely after 35, 40, if you are 50 and above, you should definitely be doing this every 6 months. So these tests are, first is homocysteine, second is fasting insulin, and third is hsCRP. So I'm going to explain these now. So homocysteine is basically a kind of a amino acid protein that you can think of. So if you have a lower level of B vitamins in the body, this adds up. But high levels of homocysteine has been shown to increase deaths from cardiovascular diseases by over 50%. Okay. In fact, homocysteine, an increase in homocysteine is basically increases the mortality of a person by 49% if you include any factors of mortality. Okay. Ideally, the level should be less than 6 millimoles per liter. Okay. So in sometimes, like when you do a lab test, they might say a normal range is less than 15. Okay. Some experts say that it is below 7 or some experts say it is below 8. There are many experts who believe that it should be below 6. Okay. So if you do your blood test and it comes out to be, let's say 9, 10 or even less than 15, but then you should just look at your lifestyle to get this down. Okay. Also, if it is more than 15, then this is definitely an alarm. Okay. So homocysteine is basically associated with a lot of different kinds of mortality, be it heart attack, be it stroke, be it cardiac arrest, be it cancer. Okay. So a high level of homocysteine is never recommended. Now coming to fasting insulin. So usually diabetes, when it takes place when insulin is basically chronically high for a very long period. So if you have a higher insulin for, let's say 10, 20 years, then you develop diabetes. So it is, rather than going and measuring the level of sugar once you are on the verge of getting diabetic, it is better to measure the insulin levels. So if, let's say you are a 25-year-old person or even a 20-year-old person, and if you are having high fasting insulin, then there's a very good chance that by the early 30s or mid 30s, you might develop diabetes, which leads to a lot of complications. Okay. So it is always better to act early then to lower this fasting insulin. So ideally the fasting insulin level should be between 2 to 5 micro unit per milliliter. Okay. Keep in mind all the units over here. So this is the ideal level of fasting insulin. Now coming to hsCRP. hsCRP, like a lot of people know that after COVID, a lot of people were doing the CRP tests, thinking that when inflammation goes high, CRP goes up. Okay. So in COVID, people were checking for CRP levels also, basically looking at the markers of inflammation. hsCRP is primarily related to inflammation of the heart. So if it is less than 1 milligram per liter, it is perfect. It should not be more than that. If it is between 1 and 3, then it is moderate. Above 3, it is a very high level. So ideally you should aim for less than 1 milligram per liter. So this measures the inflammation in the heart, which is related to many cardiovascular diseases. So all these are markers before you get the disease in, or even if you have the disease, the heart disease or even diabetes or any other form of life-threatening disease, you will find that these markers will be elevated. So always get these markers checked. Okay, so now we're going to look at how do we reduce, what all do we need to do to reduce these markers. So to reduce these markers, basically what you need to do is that you need to eat right. Basically you have to go in and look at our video on the foundation of healthy eating, follow all those foundation and try to create a good eating habit for yourself. Then you need to reduce the stress. So any chronic stress that you have, you should reduce it, because stress also increases the blood sugar level, and which increases the insulin level. So the fasting insulin that we saw is also increased by not just by eating but by chronic stress also, because when you get stress in the body, there's a hormone called cortisol. It increases in the body, which in turn increases the blood sugar level, and that blood sugar level increases the insulin level. So even if you are not eating anything bad, if you are eating everything right, but you are under a lot of chronic stress, that chronic stress will elevate the blood sugar level or the blood insulin level, increasing all the markers that we just saw. So you need to reduce the stress levels. You need to sleep well, at least for 7 to 8 hours. It actually depends. Some people get their sleep done in 6 hours, some people take it 7 to 8 hours. But keep in mind that you should be waking up without an alarm. So if you're waking up without an alarm and you're waking up fresh, that means you're sleeping well. So sleep well, because all your body repair happens during your sleep. And then you should do moderate level of exercises. Okay, why moderate level of exercises? Because you need time to recuperate also. If you're not an athlete, or if you're not planning to be an athlete, then doing extremely high level of exercise is not recommended. Also, extreme high level of exercises reduces your immunity also. So doing moderate level of exercise is the recommended factor over here. So you follow these 4 things and all your blood reports will come right, and always keep a check on all the 3 blood tests that we just discussed. Okay, if you find this video informative, kindly like and share this video, subscribe to the channel for more such information. Thanks a lot for watching the video.